YouTube, how's it going? This video is really special for me. I've been working on this video and waiting for this video for the past 6 months. This is basically what my client Andreas has been working on the past 6 months, his own body, because I will tell you right now what actually changed for Andreas. Okay, Andreas is 27 years old. It took him 90 days to lose all the weight and 180 days completed to build his best physique, which I will show you pictures throughout the video. Okay, he was working more than 45 hours every single week, as you can see on this presentation that I made for you. Like, I made this a few hours ago because I was really excited to share this and show to people what you can really achieve in the next 6 months. You know, many people underestimate what you can do in 6 months, and they overestimate what they can do in 1 month, and they end up not trying. He kept restarting and never made it past the first few weeks, and this is what many people experience. When it comes to trying something that can change you, many people switch because, again, they don't see progress consistently, which is natural. Like, when something doesn't work immediately, we tend to just bounce to the next fancy idea, okay? He was losing and gaining back the same weight. I remember when he came on the program, he was around 86 kg. He told me that he has been gaining the same 2 kg and losing the same 2 kg the past 3 years that I just told you, okay? And felt stuck, even though he kept showing up and trying. Like, I promise you, this guy has insane work ethic, like some of you guys out there that have insane work ethic. That's why you have kids. That's why you can provide for your family, but really cannot stick to a fitness plan. But really didn't seem to see the progress that he wanted with his body, even though he had a really good career when it came to his job. And the problem, as I told you, was not him. Okay, the guy was serious. That's why I reached out to him. I wouldn't just reach out to everybody. The guy really was serious. He stayed serious, and he saw serious results. As I told you, like, it's very rare for somebody to stick to a plan more than 6 months and see such good progress. Programs that he followed were built for someone with a predictable schedule and free evenings. That's why some things that you do cannot really match you. That's why you tend to restart. It doesn't match your life. That's why you restart, okay? All these trends that we see on social media and all these things, yes, they seem good on paper, but when you try them, you tend to always fail and restart. That's why you need something that can really be inside of your life, okay? And the cycle just kept on repeating. Start a new program with real intention. Week 1 or 2 goes extremely well. The motivation is always high in the beginning. And life hits, a rough week happens, a trip, late nights. Everyone that has something going on in their lives, maybe kids, maybe something really happens in the middle of your week, you tend to restart thinking that if you messed up on Wednesday, there's no recovery from that, okay? And you just restart on Monday and basically repeat the same loop and see no progress in the end of the day. I know there's so many people with this, struggling with this, because everyone goes through this. Even me, I can tell you that I'm such a guilty guy when it comes to restarting all the time when I was in the exact same state 4 years ago. But it's something that you can figure out, okay? And you see the same results over and over for years. You keep thinking that you are the problem to something that you really didn't see with your own eyes. Like, seeing that the only thing that really was the problem was the system. What most men are actually going through. Okay, this is probably the most interesting part of the video. Okay, before I get into what changed, this is what the men I work with usually describe. The Sunday feeling, okay? Looking ahead at the week, already knowing it's going to fall apart. Think of it as lust. Think of it as all these sins that you feel like it's going to go well on Monday or something, but deep inside, you know you're going to fail. Of course, the comparison, seeing others make progress and not understanding why it isn't happening for them. That, like, the problems that you see all the time on yourself, why aren't this happening in their lives, right? Deep inside, we all know that they're happening. It's just like everything else with money, with business, everything like this. People do not really go as well as you think, and you're not going as bad as you think. And the energy crash, okay? Getting home after a long day and having nothing left. I see this so many times, and what I do with my clients is just that we tend to kind of have the carbs high, even though people tell you to cut the carbs. No, I don't cut any foods for my clients when it comes to what they like, when it comes to carbohydrates, because I want them to see progress and still enjoy the process. And then the most typical one, the restart trap, thinking that they need to go all the way again instead of just continuing. I mean, really, again, I don't blame you. I used to do the same thing exactly 4 years ago, but there's a way out of this. Like, if you feel like you're just repeating the same loop over and over again, there is a way out of this. Let me tell you what actually happened, okay? 12 weeks, real life happened throughout trips, late nights, heavy weeks at work, okay? And the plan survived all of it, because I told you that a plan is supposed to survive your worst week, not your best. Like, I'm gonna tell you about the trips specifically, okay? Because I remember many things when it comes to the trips, like Amsterdam, some countries that he went to. I adjusted, he kept on seeing progress. So you going to trips all the time doesn't mean it has to ruin your programs. Late nights as well, as I told you, same thing. The weight loss phase, 26 pounds around 90 days. I think it was precisely 25.6 in the first 90 days. I posted a story. I was really happy about that. And he stayed consistent week by week. There were no dramatic swings like me having cravings and all these things, because I told you the plan matches your life, and you really do not really need to go out of your way to see any progress, okay? And we really stopped caring about the scale too much. We really put down the habits, created some good eating habits, and then we actually saw progress. Because if you don't have the habits, you're gonna get the weight all the way back. And after the 90 days, the weight was where it needed to be. We basically went on a 200 to 300 calorie deficit, okay? Then we shifted to a maintenance and then to a surplus, okay, after he really lost the weight. And I'm going to open the light for you because it's getting dark. And basically, he had the exact same plan, okay? No difference in the plan. We just had a different goal. We went from shifting from a consistent fat loss to a consistent muscle build with the structure that I just told you right now, okay? And the thing that I'm mostly proud of isn't even the weight. Like, you can see his body completely transformed. But the one thing that I really focus more on the guys is what they can sustain long term. That's why I'm really most proud of with the habits, rather than just seeing the scale, because anyone can potentially just lose 100 pounds in the next 3 years, but you really cannot really stick with the habits that come with that. So beyond the weight, he entered a 5-kilometer race. Bro, 2 years ago, I couldn't do that shit, okay? This guy just lost some weight off his body from my program, and now he's running a 5-kilometer race. It's not a run. He went to a race, okay? And he really couldn't even run one before. He sent me a message. I was again pumped with that message. He went on vacation very consistently, came back on track, didn't really had anything bad, because again, it's the habits. And there was way more energy in the day-to-day life, okay? Not the energy that you see in the gym, as I write here. It's just the everyday energy, okay? At work, the more steps you get in, the more active you become, the more weight you lose, the more mobile you can be. Because imagine that before that, it was exactly like holding a 25-pound weight with you. It's the exact same thing. The guy just needed to lose some weight, pack on some lean muscle, and just integrate some habits in him. Through a program, I believe it was the perfect fit for him, because he was busy. He really couldn't manage any other program, because he tried even some personal coaches. He tried other guys that just showed you the most generic plan and just left you right there. You know, I created a plan that could match his life, and he saw consistent progress, okay? And the background noise he had been carrying for years went quiet, okay? I wrote this down. The reason that I wrote this down was because this haunted me as a guy that was out of shape, okay? This haunted me. If you're watching this video and you're out of shape, which I suppose every man went through this by themselves, with this voice that tells you to become better, tells you to start making a change, tells you that you're behind, tells you that you're not good enough. And yes, that thing is still there, but at least the lose the weight voice like really disappeared. Same goes with me. I used to like hate listening to my own self just rumbling in my ears that you need to make a change, okay? And most men in this position have already tried, okay? Because I work with men that are a bit older than me. This means that I can see the viewpoint from a different perspective, not just mine, okay? It's different. Real reason I figured this was based on something that I found on Reddit that I really found interesting. Like, imagine that I saw myself in a comment, like every failed attempt makes the next one feel harder to start, because when you fail once, you're discouraged to start another thing, because you have this limiting belief that it might happen again, okay? And the gap is that most of these men have built real things in life. True, okay? And you have another thing, which is you having to get in shape, okay? And what actually shifts things, it is that the moment that someone stops thinking the problem is them and they start questioning their approach. Again, I mentioned this before, that many people do not question the system that they use, and they just question their discipline and their motivation and all these things. I was talking to a guy in my DMs today. Okay, main problem was the motivation to keep on going after he tried until 2021. Really interesting, okay? Because I feel like the most intense thing to see is your own body failing you, okay? Because if you really can't figure out these 4 things right here, you can say to yourself that you have something real to start working on. You can start fixing the problem that you have because you can recognize the patterns. And because I personally know what it actually means for somebody to completely change their lives, change their bodies, change their habits, change all these bad things that they had in their lives, I saw it with Andreas the same exact way that I saw it in myself, the complete body and life transformation. With people at work, with people around him treat you way differently if you're in good shape. I know what this feels like, okay? And this guy's name probably sounds unfamiliar to you, but his problems can definitely resonate with you, okay? So if any of this sounds like where you're standing at right now, like the exact state that you might be right now, restarting all the time, not having any consistency, not seeing anything with your body that you want, you can DM me the word rebuild on Instagram. This isn't any pressure. You can just go right now, like takes 1 second, just DM me the word. I will see where you were in your life before, what you have tried, and I will try to help you come up with a game plan that would allow you to genuinely see results without having to turn your life around to see the body that you want. You don't need to drain your life. You don't need to ruin your life. You don't need to get away from your kids, away from your job to see something different with your body. You just need a plan that you can follow for the next 6 months, and that's when you will see a different person, okay? So thank you for watching this video. Really means a lot that people sit and watch these things that I am excited for, because I told you that I'm always excited for my clients' transformation. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you on the next video, brother.